Welcome to Civils Online, your affordable personal coach. This is part of Civils Exam Current Affairs series, and this is your daily dose of current affairs. And this is for the dates 15th to 19th March 2016. So complete newspaper reading can be hectic and time consuming. So every day from Hindu and other newspapers, we select one or two important news items and we name it as topic of interest for which case in point and important terms are given, and the topic is discussed in detail so that you will get what exactly you need to know upon related to civil service preparation. And today's topic of interest is the Smart Cities Mission by Ministry of Urban Development, Government of India. So the case in point, 20 smart cities are selected for the year 2016 and 17. Before going into the more details of this smart cities mission, let's know some important terms so that we will know the actual scheme better. Yep. So these are the important terms given here. So we are talking about smart cities mission. So we are talking about cities, that is urbanization, the urban areas. So first we should know what is an urban area, what is its importance, and how it is different from rural, and why an urban area is preferred, and what are the present issues of urbanization in India, and what is the pressing need of urbanization, and what the government and others partners in the civil society are doing. So what is an urban area and what is this urban versus rural? So human settlements are classified as rural or urban depending on the density of human created structures like dwelling places like buildings, and then roads, dams, constructions, etc., and resident people, that is the population of that particular area. Urban areas can include towns and cities, while rural areas include villages and hamlets. While rural areas may develop randomly on the basis of natural vegetation and fauna available in a region, urban settlements are proper planned settlements built up according to a process called urbanization. So many times rural areas are focused upon by the governments and development agencies and turned into urban areas because unlike rural areas, urban settlements are defined by their advanced civic communities, opportunities for education, facilities for transport, business and social interaction, and overall better standard of living. So urban areas stand for better standard of living. Coming to urbanization in India, so urbanization is taking place at a faster rate in India due to the following factors: expansion in government services, migration of people during partition of India, the Industrial Revolution, and 5-year plans that aimed at urbanization for the economic development of India. Economic opportunities are one reason why people move into cities, and infrastructure facilities that are available in urban areas, and growth of private sector after 1990s liberalization of the economy. However, this rapid and uncontrolled urbanization and increasing urban population is leading to many problems in India, like increasing slums, decrease in the standard of living, and also causing environmental damage. This is completely against to what urban area stands for, that is better standard of living. But the thing is happening in contrast in India. So hence it is imperative for India to gear up for this growing demand of urbanization to create sustainable and smart cities. The smart is a new need. So here comes the government's initiative, that is Smart Cities Mission. It is an urban renewal and retrofitting program by the government of India with a mission to develop 100 smart cities as satellite towns of larger cities, and by modernizing the existing mid-sized cities all over the country to make them citizen friendly and sustainable. The Union Ministry of Urban Development is responsible for implementing the mission in collaboration with the state governments of the respective cities. The objective of the Smart Cities mission is to enhance quality of urban life. Smart cities will have the core infrastructure and will give a quality and a decent life to citizens. It will enable a clean environment and provide smart, that is technology driven solutions to the problems. So we learned what is smart city mission. So let's see what is a smart city actually. So there is no universally accepted definition of a smart city because with the conceptualization varying from city to city, even from country to country, because there can be different levels of development and it depends on the willingness to change and reform of that particular city and resources and aspirations of the residents of this city. So all these factors influence the meaning of smart city, its level of development. If the smart city is already a smart one, it can become smarter. So it depends on what kind of resources are already there in the city. So to which kind of level you want to develop your city to. So it depends on these factors. So this is what smart city stands for. So India has got its own definition of smart city based on its own requirements and aspirations. So essential features of smart city in India, it's like bottom-up planning based on citizen participation, complete autonomy to states and duties in project proposal, appraisal and approval, selection of cities and towns under new urban missions based on objective criteria, convergence of different schemes to enable integrated planning and better utilization of resources for visible impact on ground and unprecedented resource support to states and urban local bodies. So why only smart city? Why we have to develop cities into smart? So with the emergence of cities as the development centers, Indian cities are facing acute infrastructure bottlenecks. The new government at the center has come up with this project called Smart Cities Mission to address the problem of urban areas. So according to Ministry of Urban Development, the Smart City Mission marks a paradigm shift towards urban development in the country since it is based on bottom-up approach. This is important term, bottom-up approach. It's a completely new with the involvement of citizens in the formulation of city vision and smart city plans and urban local bodies and state governments piloting the mission with little say for the Ministry of Urban Development. So it's a bottom-up approach. Very few projects had this kind of approach earlier. Core infrastructure elements in a smart city. What a smart city, at least in Indian perspective, should consist of. So there should be adequate water supply, electricity supply, sanitation and solid waste management, efficient urban mobility and public transport, affordable housing, especially for the poor, robust IT connectivity and digitalization, good governance, especially e-governance and citizens' participation, sustainable environment, safety and security of citizens, particularly women, children and the elderly, and health and education. So these are the core infrastructure elements of a smart city. So these are the important terms we have to know before actually looking at the smart cities mission. So we realized what is an urban area and how it is different from a rural area and what it stands for, that is better standard of living, and what is a smart city and what a smart city in India should consist of, and what is the government's plan. So we learned all these terms. So let's look at what is this smart cities mission. What are its details? So as we discussed earlier, 20 smart cities are selected for the year 2016 and 17. There is a detailed criteria of 41 questions and marking on a scale of 1 to 7 for the selection methodology of smart cities. Why only 20 smart cities are taken initially? Because government want these cities to be guiding or role model cities for the upcoming cities. So pan city development is possible. So is this plan for the complete city development or pockets of that particular city? This focuses on particular pockets of the city because the whole city development is a time-taking process and cannot be developed over a 5-year period. How about financing? There will be a center's share and then state share, then other resources such as public-private partnership, loans, convergence, like there is a special purpose vehicle constituted particularly for this purpose. So we will discuss about this below. There is a financing element is a part of selection methodology, yes. And there are various models of development, pan city, greenfield, retrofitting or redevelopment for a selected area. So what are the challenges and questions regarding this mission? So there are certain questions and challenges which has to be answered and addressed. So what is the role of special purpose vehicles that are created? what are their functions, how much freedom of action they will have, how will they find resources, where does the role of special purpose vehicles come in. So these special purpose vehicles are constituted particularly for this mission in those cities. So why special purpose vehicles? Financing will be easy, accountability is ensured, and results in a time-bound manner. For this ease of doing these things, government has constituted special purpose vehicles. Then what is the role of urban local bodies of the cities and interaction between elected representatives and civil service in local bodies? And there is some criticism as well, which need to be addressed properly for the correct implementation of this scheme. Like some say it's like giving more power to more healthy and neglecting the poor cities. For example, Delhi is already smart enough to tackle its own problems, but again it is in the smart cities list. And poor states like Bihar and Uttar Pradesh could not enlist at least one city in the smart cities list because of the selection criteria, which is favoring already doing well cities. Lack of clarity on financing model, and only smart colonies can be developed but not smart city within the 5 years and with available finances. And there is a bigger criticism on this particular area, like it is overlooking of constitutional bodies, that is urban local bodies of these cities, because government is creating special purpose vehicles to implement particularly in the area of finance, thus disabling these constitutional bodies of their powers. What are the suggestions? Government would have tried to maintain regional balance, because there is a criticism that there is no regional balance in the selection criteria. And implementation should be based on the past experiences instead of creating a completely new methodology. The government should learn from the past experiences of various schemes in this urban development arena. Empower the urban local bodies through capacity building instead of bypassing them. So we have to empower the local bodies. That's what we have been trying for. So decentralization is very important in India. So instead of bypassing them, one has to empower them. So this is about smart cities mission. So there are other sister programs in the urban development area, such as Amrut, which is Atal Mission for Regeneration and Urban Transformation. It is one scheme which was launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2015, with the focus of the urban renewal projects is to establish infrastructure that could ensure adequate, robust sewage networks and water supply for urban transformation. And we have Swachh Bharat mission in the urban areas. This is the campaign by the government of India covering more than 4,000 statutory cities and towns to clean the streets, roads and infrastructure of the country with the following objectives: elimination of open defecation, eradication of manual scavenging, modern and scientific municipal solid waste management, to effect behavioral change regarding healthy sanitation practices, generate awareness about sanitation and its linkage with public health, capacity augmentation for urban local bodies to create an enabling environment for the private sector participation. So housing for all by 2022 is another scheme which aimed for urban areas with the following components and options for the participating cities: slum rehabilitation of slum dwellers with participation of private developers using land as a resource, promotion of affordable housing for weaker sections through credit-linked subsidy, affordable housing in partnership with public and private sectors, and subsidy for beneficiary-led individual house construction or enhancement. And there is another mission that is particularly for the rural areas or semi-urban areas, to make them as smart villages. The mission aims at the development of rural growth clusters which have latent potential for growth in all states and UTs, which would trigger overall development in the region. So these clusters would be developed by provisioning of economic activities, developing skills and local entrepreneurship, and providing infrastructure amenities. Thus, this urban mission provide urban facilities in rural areas and develop a cluster of smart villages. So this is about a smart cities program by the government of India. Coming to other news items, government hopes to pass GST and bankruptcy bills. Rajya Sabha Ethics Committee to scrutinize Malia's conduct. Ethics panel issues notice to Rahul Gandhi on citizenship row. Enforcement Directorate arrests Chhagan Bhujbal in money laundering case. Centre has sent teams to Punjab, Haryana and other northern and western states to assess the loss of rabi crops due to untimely rains and hailstorms in the past few days. Sting claims to expose Trinamool corruption. The police have zeroed in LET operational commander Abu Dujana as a brain behind the Pampur suicide attack. A GIS-enabled platform with information on over 96,000 species of fauna will soon be made available on the web by the Geological Survey of India. The Supreme Court says interest of child comes first and puts in place safeguards against trafficking of children in the name of adoption. Debate continues on why marital rape must be a crime. AIMIM leader Asaduddin Owaisi has said that he will not chant Bharat Mata Ki Jai. Nuclear-capable Agni-1 missile tested. Sutlej-Yamuna Link Canal SYL issue. The proposed 2,214 km long canal in India to connect the Sutlej and Yamuna rivers met with obstacles and now being referred to the Supreme Court of India. Retail inflation at 4-month low spurs calls for the rate cut. Indian government prohibits the manufacture, sale and distribution of 350 fixed dose combinations including Corex over safety concerns. The United Planters Association of Southern India has urged the government to announce the national rubber policy soon. The government has begun debarring LPG users from the subsidy who earn more than 10 lakh a year starting from their next refill of the gas cylinder. Jewelers still center firm on excise but ends Inspector Raj. Noting that equal access to justice for all is a fundamental right, the Supreme Court of India to set up a constitution bench to debate the establishment of a national courts of appeal with the regional benches to act as final courts of justice in the criminal and civil cases. ICC World T20 and its cricket's fans festival across the world. Heated arguments witnessed in Parliament over the issue of special category status for Andhra Pradesh. Pope Francis approved sainthood for Mother Teresa, the missionary nun who became a global symbol of compassion for her care of the sick and the destitute. Kakrapur nuclear power plant leak a level 1 nuclear mishap, says AERB, Atomic Energy Regulatory Board of India. The production of indigenous fighter light combat aircraft Tejas is being ramped up from 8 to 16 a year. Indian workers may face deportation under new UK law. Lok Sabha nod for inclusion of more castes in the scheduled caste list. Furor over BJP MLA's assault on police horse. India is lagging in manufacturing medical devices and recent increase in imported duties on such devices a corrective step to create an ecosystem for manufacturing them locally. National Stock Exchange to soon offer sector-specific index futures on Singapore's SGX. Parliament passes Aadhaar Bill amid acrimonious debates. New civil aviation policy soon, says the aviation minister, and President Pranab Mukherjee urges the aviation industry to focus on Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. Denial of permission to park officials to India-Pakistan T20 World Cup match in Kolkata, which sparks a spat. The country's ambitious GPS-like regional fleet of navigation satellites project completion has got delayed. More wayside amenities along national highways. New pension scheme NPS can now be totally tax-free at the time of withdrawal under certain conditions, says the Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority of India. Government clarifies rules on tax treatment of offshore funds, and at World Sufi Meet, Modi lauds Islam as a religion of peace. The capital punishment was commuted to life imprisonment for Himayat Beg, the accused in the popular case of German bakery restaurant blast in Pune happened in 2010, which killed 17 people and injured 58 others, and many among them are foreign nationals. PM Modi again on Times Magazine's influential on internet list. The Supreme Court of India allows display of photos of CMs, ministers in the public advertisements. The government slashed interest rates on small saving schemes, including the Public Provident Fund and Kisan Vikas Patra. India's beef-free pork import norms draws protests from USA. The Health Ministry has banned repeat animal testing of new drugs tested abroad to prevent cruelty to animals. After two categories of overseas citizenship of India, OCI, and persons of Indian origin, PI, were merged last year, now the OCI card will suffice to enter the country and hence would require no visa. Niti Aayog Task Force backs Tendulkar poverty line. SEBI tightens norms for mutual funds. Shanghai exponent Ali Ahmad Hussain Khan is dead. Coming to international news items, key source markets such as US, Germany, Canada, France, Australia and Russia have not struck India off the list of safe destinations despite some countries advised their citizens to exercise caution while traveling to India. Haven't heard of our true presence across LOC, says China. India and Maldives are in the process of finalizing a cross-border counter-terror mechanism to deal with radicalization and to tackle the spread of citizens trying to join the terror group, the Islamic State. A combination of a strong El Nino event in the Pacific Ocean and human-caused warming drove temperatures in February this year to levels never before seen since records began in 1880, according to new NASA data. China's tallest skyscraper, the Shanghai Tower, is expected to be open for business soon. This 632-meter tall tower is second only to the Dubai's Burj Khalifa, which is world's tallest skyscraper. Indian External Affairs Minister will meet her Pakistani counterpart in Nepal on the sidelines of a SAARC ministerial meeting. Cattle smuggling to Bangladesh on the wane. US President election campaign of Donald Trump turned into violence against protesters and the media. Syria peaks talks open in Geneva. Myanmar parliament elects new president. Russia opposes sanctions on Iran. Nepal to brief India on Oli's China visit. The Bangladesh Central Bank scam. Its governor resigns. ICANN summit at Marrakesh in Morocco. ICANN stands for Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. So quietly and symbolically, the USA control of the internet through this ICANN just ended. And India, one of the influential member, made its stand clear on internet governance and calls for joint control of the internet by the world. Google integrates Ola and Uber service with its maps, and wax replica of Modi to join other dignitaries at Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. Obama nominates Garland to USA Apex Court while Indian origin judge Srinivasan loses out. India to discuss trade curbs and projects at BRICS meeting. Kurds declare federal region in Syria. India and other members of the Human Rights Council pushed Nepal to carry out more constitutional amendments to accommodate the democratic aspirations of the citizens from Nepal's plains. Obama signs sanctions orders against North Korea. Paris attacks a suspect Abdeslam held in Brussels. Experts unsure if El Nino will fade away. India sends diesel supplies to Bangladesh. Mathematician Sir Andrew Wiles has been awarded the Abel Prize for his proof of Fermat's last theorem, which he published in 1994. North Korea test fires 2 ballistic missiles. European Union and Turkey strike deal to use migrant crisis. So this is the today's news items. So you can also attend free online Civils Foundation course March 2016 batch. The class timings are Monday to Friday, every evening 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. To attend these classes, all you need is a computer with internet, and of course passion for civil services. For login details and other course details, you can visit this page www.civilsonline2016.blogspot.in, or you can just directly contact us for any queries. So here are our contact details. Subscribe to our Civils Online YouTube channel by clicking on this link, or you can just simply type Civils Online without any spaces in YouTube, and you can find our channel to receive continuous updates on civil service preparation. Like our Civils Online Facebook page. This is Civils Online. Happy learning.